did this feel like a show right before major PLE? No. It wasn't a bad SmackDown, but honestly, you probably could have missed this one and still been fine, which is a little odd since literally the Royal Rumble is now. The only thing that made it feel like it was a little bit bigger than a normal show was the stage. The stage looks really good and I really like it and I'm excited for it tomorrow. But yeah, overall, this SmackDown was almost missable, which is weird to say. But there are quite a few things I did like about the show. I liked the opening segment. It was like 30 minutes long, but I think it was good. So we had Cody kick off the show. He just came out in a nice outfit. He had suspenders on. He looked like Clark Kent. Just came out to do a promo basically saying, if I could win 3 Royal Rumbles in a row or something. And I don't know if everyone's a fan of that. I love Cody, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to see him win the Royal Rumble again. Would I absolutely hate it? No, but I wouldn't love it either. But then Randy Orton came out, and then Sami Zayn came out, and then Jey Uso came out. But then the Vision came out. Wasn't expecting the Vision, and then it was just kind of what seemed to be an impromptu main event. So we were going to get an 8-man tag team match, 4-on-4. I was like, okay, interesting. What could go wrong with that? But it was a good opening. I quite enjoyed it. Something else I really like is I am only going to speak for myself because I've seen many people say it is glaringly obvious, but to me, it's not. And it is. I don't know if AJ is going to win or lose. I really don't know. AJ did come out and have an awesome promo. He was talking about, he's like, I know a lot of you are worried about the Royal Rumble match. Because again, if he loses, he has to retire. His career is on the line. But he's basically saying, I know you're worried, but don't be. I'm not worried. We're going to get through tomorrow. He's going to beat Gunther. He is going to then go on an AJ retirement tour, essentially, and all of this stuff. And I'm like, well, shoot. They probably have a big retirement tour planned. Again, not the likes of John Cena's retirement tour, but they clearly have something planned, so I could see him winning. Then I'm thinking, how is he going to win without interference or anything like that? But then Gunther came out and interrupted him, and I thought that whole segment was really good. I kind of am enjoying this Gunther and AJ feud, and I'm not one to enjoy Gunther feuds, but this one's been good so far. The only thing that will completely ruin it for me is if the match at the Royal Rumble ends in DQ, ends in countout, ends in some kind of shenanigans where there's not a definitive win or loss for AJ, and then they kind of squeak around it with semantics of like, oh, he didn't lose, so he doesn't have to retire and all of this stuff. That will ruin it for me because it will feel like his career being on the line never mattered. Like it was honestly meaningless. There was no high stakes, and that will ruin it for me. I really like the high stakes match of if you lose, you retire. If you win, you don't have to retire yet. So we will see how it is handled. I really hope it is definitive, and I want to say like no interference. Like no one's coming to help AJ. Gunther's not cheating to win either, but we'll see. I'm really iffy on that because I can see them sneaking around it. Like, oh, he didn't technically lose, so yada, yada, yada. And then I'll be like, well, what was all this for then? You know what I mean? There was a small segment in there between Damian, R-Truth, and Nick Aldis, I think, was there. But they had the tumbler back with Royal Rumble numbers in there, we assume. But Truth had Damian choose one, and then he opened it, and it was clearly not a great number. But Damian Priest is now in the Royal Rumble. We also had Brock Lesnar announce that he actually declared it on the Pat McAfee show a few days ago. But they officially announced it on the show tonight that Brock Lesnar's in the Royal Rumble. Surprise, surprise. Which is weird, right? Because Finn Balor got told that the Royal Rumble is full. But we've had Damian join and Brock Lesnar join, so interesting. But I also really liked Charlotte's robes. I don't know. She looked really cool. I didn't particularly care for her full bodysuit, but the robe was beautiful. It was like gold with black feathers. I thought it looked amazing. During Axiom and Johnny Gargano's match, I really enjoyed this part. So the whole story is Candice and Johnny have Axiom's mask because Candice unmasked him a little while ago, and they have had the mask ever since, basically like a trophy, right? But for this match, Candice was barred from ringside, so she couldn't be out there with Johnny. But he still had the mask out there. Johnny, during their match, ended up unmasking Axiom again. However, Axiom took his old mask, put that on, and then beat Johnny. And I really like that detail. I thought that was really funny, very resourceful of Axiom, if I do say so myself. Axiom got the W and got his mask back. Win-win. For this stadium being built in like a month or less, I'm not sure, it looks really good. I think the stadium looks really, really nice. I love the stage. It has so many screens, and at least for this SmackDown, like everyone's entrances looked so cool with all of the screens and the fact that it's dark time and it's going to be dark time also for the Royal Rumble. It is an open roof stadium, and that's why being dark is so important because I can't stand when it's typically like WrestleMania, right? It starts when it's still light out. So all of the pyro just does not hit like it should. So being dark out is very important to me for the entrances, but it looked really cool. And I think the Royal Rumble is going to look awesome. Now on to some things I didn't like. So I didn't like that people are still declaring, men in particular, are still declaring for the Rumble when Finn Balor got told it was full. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. But there was a moment in there that they accidentally showed that Braun Breaker is the number one entrant for the Rumble. Now, I am usually one for, giving grace and, accidents happen. But a production like this, a company like WWE, those kind of mistakes should not be happening. They really shouldn't be. And so now they have to make the decision to keep Braun Breaker as the number one entrant or change. I don't even know what you would have to change. You would have to change so many sequences to no longer have Braun Breaker as number one. So what are they going to do? Move him to number two and be like, well, he's not number one. Just kidding. I don't know. But to me, things like that really, really should not be happening. And then a big one, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I did not like the main event match. I really didn't. I thought it was going to be good. I liked the opening, like I said. I liked how it was built and set up and announced. The match itself, I felt was a dud. And I think it's because in matches like that, I don't particularly care for one person just getting beat on the entire time and they just can't get to their tag partner or partners. And that's kind of what happened here. Cody, it felt like he was getting his butt kicked for like 20 minutes and he just could not get a tag. So that took me out of it. There was kind of a peak in the chaos level of everyone was like in the ring and everything was going on. Cody being in there for what felt like forever, just getting his butt kicked, really took it down for me. And then we had Drew McIntyre come in, interfere, got DQ'd. So it's like, okay, what was the point of that even? And then Jacob Fatu came in and they are really setting up something between Jacob, Drew, and Cody. Drew did attack Sammy at first, so at least there's that because Sammy has the title match against him at the Rumble. But I did like Sami Zayn's haluva kick out of freaking nowhere to Drew. That was nice. But yeah, it just, I don't know. A very meh main event for me. I thought when Damian drew his number and they looked at it and they all went wide-eyed, and then Truth said something like, "My bad, you can draw, kid." That made me laugh. And Nick Aldis was like, no, he can't. So I really wonder what that number is. We know it's not number one unless they're going to put poor Damien in as number one because they could be like, well, his reaction kind of matches that. And then we can have Braun Breaker be like number two or number three. Anyway, I thought that was a really funny moment. And the match of the night for me is going to go to The Miz and Ilya Dragunov. Ilya is just... he's really good. He's really intense. And The Miz, I don't know. I want The Miz to start getting some wins. I think he deserves it. I think he's so underappreciated in this company. And I think he needs to be winning more. I don't care what anyone else thinks. Performance is going to go to Liv Morgan, probably. So they had Charlotte and Alexa out in the ring and they were doing their promo. I also really like, back it up, I kind of like that Alexa and Charlotte are... I don't know, do we want to call it beefing? They're not really arguing, but Charlotte's like, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. I want to win the Royal Rumble and all this stuff. And Alexa's like, I also want to win. Like, what are we going to do here? Are you going to throw me over? Am I gonna throw you over? Like, I like that they're like planting those little seeds because I could definitely see them splitting up in the nearish future. I'm assuming Alexa's gonna turn heel and turn on Charlotte, but you never know. Charlotte could turn heel again, but I kind of see it being Alexa. Anyway, I just like that they're kind of planting those seeds because that's a normal reaction. They have Rhea and Io over there being like, oh, we're going to be just fine at the Rumble. We're going to be friends in the end and all lovey-dovey. Everything's great and fine. But Charlotte and Alexa are like, no, this could potentially be a problem. We both want to win. I just like the reality of if it comes down to it, friends or are you going to look out for yourself kind of thing. So, but the performance to me goes to Liv Morgan. So Charlotte and Alexa were out in the ring and they were doing their thing, but then the Judgment Day interrupts and they're kind of, I think they were like kind of taunting them on the Royal Rumble. Regardless of what they said, Liv is just so good on the mic. Her character and her character work is just always a joy to watch, and especially in the ring as well. She just goes above and beyond. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know how to use my words to describe it, but she just goes above and beyond in her facial expressions, when things happen in the match, the way she interacts with the ref, when things don't go her way. She's just top tier. She really is. So performance for me is going to go to Liv Morgan. There was a little thing in the back with Shinsuke and Tama Tonga. It sounds like we're going to be getting a match between them next week, if I remember correctly, which will be exciting. I feel like we're seeing more and more of Shinsuke, and I'm not going to complain about it. Unless he keeps losing, then I might complain. But I am enjoying seeing Shinsuke more. And something that has nothing to do with this show, but I saw it on Instagram. Ava, the general manager on NXT, is no longer with the company. Her contract ran out and she didn't re-sign. And I was not expecting that. That really shocked me, especially with like this ladder match, the important ladder match for the NXT champions coming up, her interactions with Tony D, and just, I don't know, it just came out of nowhere for me. I had no idea that she was even considering leaving, and I just think that's a bummer. I really enjoyed Ava as a general manager, so good luck to her on her future endeavors. I wonder who they're going to be replacing her with. That'll be interesting. I've never witnessed a new general manager or anything, so I just thought that was something to mention. It shocked me. I don't know how you feel about it, but yeah, I guess we will see who's going to be the new NXT general manager. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts on SmackDown. I am, regardless, still excited for the Royal Rumble. I think it'll be a good time. Fingers crossed. I'm sticking with my picks. If Bianca Belair returns, I have her winning for the women. If not, I have Liv winning. And for the men, I'm sticking with Braun Breaker. Let me know who you think is going to win the Rumble. Let me know what you thought of SmackDown as a show. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. And I'll see you in the next one.